This podcast is brought to you by the Podtower, hosted by the Watchtower database. Visit youtube.com/thepodtower for informative, hilarious DC animation-themed podcasts and live streams every week. And check out the Watchtower database for DCAU video essays, timelines, fan theories, and more. And please, enjoy the show. Hi, Brian.
Hey, James.
Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. This is Jump on the Bat-Wagon with your favorite hosts, Brian and Jamie. That's the new applause button. It sucks more than the last one did. It's not as good of an applause button.
It's a smaller crowd. There's a crowd of like 10 people.
And you know,
they're excited, but there's only 10 of them.
It decided that it'll allow us to have this button now for when we make terrible jokes, and also this button. Finally, after all these years.
It's been a long time coming.
It sure has.
You know what? Now that we have an upgraded soundboard, also first, do tell me, there's no spillable beverages by your soundboard, right?
Lid.
Okay, better. You can still put it further away from the soundboard.
I have now, yeah.
But with an upgraded soundboard, I think it's time for us to be upgraded ourselves. Let's make this an intelligent podcast.
Okay.
Like, we're not going to rant. We're not going to ramble. It's going to be beautiful and succinct.
You know, I think that the easiest way to do that would be if we
just hire an AI to do the podcast for us instead. Welcome. This is the podcast. This is laughing as a robot.
Is that better?
Dude, this is so intelligent.
Hi, Brian.
Bow.
We got megaphone. I don't like that one. It kind of just hurts my ears.
Wait, can you do it? Can you do your Mickey Mouse impression with the deep voice?
With the monster voice?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on.
Yay, Brian! Welcome back to the podcast. See, it doesn't really work.
Nah, it's okay.
It's Steamboat Willie. It's a public domain now.
Yay!
So it's fine. We can do whatever we want. Yeah, intelligence. That's all you're getting out of this episode. I can tell you what. Episode 106. Wait, hang on. 106.
Can you replace that one with the old one? That's a little, it just...
Yeah. 106. Woo! All the old sounds are still here.
Okay, good.
I can so easily switch. I just press buttons and it... Wow. They're all here. I swear, that was the easiest, the thing that I wanted so much the most out of the last one was just
intelligence.
Yeah, so much the most. So here we are, episode 106. I'm James from the Watchtower Database YouTube channel. If you haven't figured it out by now, I'm here to show my good buddy Brian the entire DC animated universe from start to finish for the very first time.
And I'm Brian. What was that?
Don't worry about that. That's for later. What did you say?
I said, and I'm Brian.
Oh, okay. I hit the wrong button. At the time of this recording, Superman the Animated Series is streaming on Max.
My dog.
Available on DVD and Blu-ray.
My other dog.
That's correct. If you'd like to follow along, you can head over to bit.ly/watchdcau. Link is in the show notes. Would you say bit.ly or bit.ly? Because it's bit.ly is the website, but if you say .ly, people are going to be like, L-E-E?
I think it's like bit.ly in the same way that, I don't know, if you say like coffee, like a way that you can make a donation to this podcast is through our like coffee. People would be like, you just go to coffee, COFFEE.
You just go to coffee.com/s and give us some coffee. We are humans who like coffee.
Man, I don't know how much I like that.
I don't know. I'm just kind of experimenting, you know? There's so many buttons now.
There's this button that's really funny. Do you like this one?
I do.
I don't.
So back to the... we're watching Sins of the Father today. New Batman Adventures, Sins of the Father. Your prediction last time, I believe we got to the point where you knew it was Two-Face and that it was about Robin's dad or something. The end.
Yeah, we covered all the bounds, but like I know more now. I've used all of my intellect and like I figured out the whole episode, but like we should just watch it anyway, and I'll let you know how close I was afterwards.
Okay, that makes sense. This aired Saturday, September 20th, 1997. This was the same day as last time, but half an hour later, because that's how long the previous show lasted. Half an hour, wouldn't you know it?
Holy wowzers! And you know what? I would know it.
Yeah, you did. You know the whole episode. It aired at 9 a.m. on Kids WB, immediately after Mix Yes Pixelated. Aired number 2 and produced number 2.
Look, I've got the orange juice. You got the champagne.
I've got water.
What if we just chug a little bit of orange juice and champagne? We spit it through our webcams.
Yeah.
And hope that the other bit comes through. So we get some of it like...
I'll spit it mine at the soundboard. I think that's more likely to go through to your side.
Okay, that's a great idea.
Like you stifled the laughter that time. You're like, I can't let them know. I think it's funny. Is there a laughing one? Oh, there we go. Classic.
Great.
This was written by Rich Fogel, who previously wrote Steel and McGorry's and Speed Demons. Directed by Kurt Gaeta, who previously directed Lasak, Feeding Time, Stolen Memories, Tools of the Trade, Livewire, Identity Crisis, and Target.
I had all those things memorized.
I know. You remember what happened in Feeding Time?
Yeah, they fed. It was actually. I think I can do this one.
Okay.
It's oh my god, I can't remember his name. What's the purple dude's name? Hold on, I know this. I have intellect.
It's the same letter as purple.
Parasite.
There you go.
Parasite had to, he didn't have to, but Homeboy got splashed on by chemicals, became Parasite, somehow clothes turned into skin clothes? He purple.
Skin clothes, yeah. Skin leotard bikini man.
Yeah, he steals Superman powers. Superman not powerful anymore. He chain up Superman. He keeps stealing Superman powers.
Sure did, yeah.
He gets out. He go to jail. No more powers. Hello, cockroach.
It's cool that you remembered that much because we've also watched a second Parasite episode since then, and you didn't, combine elements. So
do you see how fucking big this brain is?
It's a steel wall.
Wait, hold on. Can I use force perspective to make my brain look bigger?
Whoa, is that Megamind himself? From the movie Megamind, copyright DreamWorks or something? I don't know.
Brainy boy.
This is music by Shirley Walker, who was the supervising composer for all of BTAS, as well as the composer of the BTAS and STAS theme music.
She did so much.
Yeah.
She stepped in. She wasn't the first composer. Danny Elfman did the original composition for the intro music, and then Shirley Walker took over with a Danny Elfman influence.
So proud of you, Brian.
This is what the podcast could be. Just saying, if I used my brain at all.
If you decided to clue in every episode.
I've got a switch. It's an analog wall switch. It's in the other room, but I flip it and my brain can work a bit better.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so I turned it on before this one.
Frankenstein switch on the wall.
Actually, it's one of those 80s.
The lightning shoots into your body.
No, I'm a little embarrassed to say this. It's one of those 80s circular dimmer switches outside your dining room. You punch it as a kid to turn it on. And now it's a little bit broken.
That's how you turn on my bedroom light, because we live in a house built in 1950 something.
Do you want me to change that out when I come up there?
I don't know, man. You can change whatever you want while you're here.
Really? Okay.
Don't ask Jessica's mom for permission. Just do it. Just start.
Deal.
Just start breaking down walls. And finally, we have animation by Coco/Dong Yang, who previously animated 42 episodes of BTAS. Huh?
Yep, they did a lot of BTAS episodes. They've done, as a combination, everything in STAS, and so far, the rest of the BTAS stuff, too. Right?
No.
Fuck!
we've had TMS a few times.
That's right, we have.
Do you want to name the Coco Dong Yang episodes from STAS so far?
There's just so many of them.
Would you say they might be Lasoc feeding time stolen Magoris. Not stealing. They have been stolen now.
The Magoris. Someone get it back.
No, my Magoris. Tools of the Trade Blast from the past, Livewire, Identity Crisis, Target, and Mixios Pixelated. That'd be about right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly what I was
defer
gonna
to
say.
you, the knowledger of all knowledge. Big brain Brian.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking?
What?
Because I was using my brain today on the way home from work.
You were thinking, were you?
You ever... Always, man. Always. I was thinking.
Thinking always.
Just like, you ever feel like a little... Maybe you don't. You're doing one of those like dream job kind of things, more or less.
Sure.
You just feel like maybe you're not like what are you made for, And I was just like, what would I do? And like I wonder, like, there's some things I'm really
made for hosting the podcast.
I was thinking that like I'm probably like, if you like were like making some utopia thing and you're like this person, like you control people doing, be like, this person needs some kind of job, this guy, what's he gonna do? It'd probably be some kind of like building engineering kind of thing. And the sad thing is, like, I don't want to do that for a career.
Yeah, sometimes the overlap doesn't happen.
Yeah,
like in the way that you want it to. Yeah.
That's stupid.
I haven't yet gotten to it. It happens occasionally where I'm like, because they say, oh, don't you have a job that is what you like to do, you'll never work, kind of shit.
Yeah,
there's moments where I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't have made this my job because now I like don't want to do it. But most of the time, 90% of the time, I'm like, fuck yeah, I get to watch a Batman episode with Brian, and then I'll get some coffee money. Let's transition into the buy us a coffee. You can head over to the link in the description. Just send us a Yoppie beverage and support the show. We'll give you a shout out in an upcoming episode. We'll also do a push-up for every $1, so send us coffee for our health and your entertainment. I was going to press a button, but now there's too many buttons now.
This is now
buttons.
It's a fitness and entertainment podcast.
It really, I got to work the fingers here, finding the right spot. Today's Yoppie Bevs come to us from Kyle Naranya.
Hey!
Oh, it's not doing it from the start anymore. It's just part way through scary. Anyway, he says, given how I'm Canadian, this must be Tim Hortons coffee. He bought us 3 Yoppie Bevs, so now we have to do 15 push-ups because that's the rules. Them's the stuff.
All right.
Here we go.
Thanks, buddy.
1 Canadian push-up, 2 Canadian push-ups, 3 Canadian push-ups, 4 Canadian push-ups, 5 Canadian push-ups, 6 Canadian push-ups, 7 Canadian push-ups, 8 Canadian push-ups, 9 Canadian push-ups, 10 Canadian push-ups, 11 Canadian push-ups, 12 Canadian push-ups, 13 Canadian push-ups, 14 Canadian push-ups, 15 Canadian push-ups.
I was yelling.
Me too. We were yelling all the push-ups on the floor. I think this is working. I'm getting better at push-ups. I did like 15. I'm still out of breath because I'm old man who's broken all the time. But I did the 15 push-ups and I was like, I just did 15 push-ups and I didn't go, oh damn it, anywhere in there. So yeah, thank you, Kyle.
I think it's working for me too. The other day I did 50, and I was just like, that's not that bad.
Well, in that case, you, Brian. Let's go watch the episode.
Okay, baby. Bye.
The soundboard is back, baby.
Whoa, this is like totally amazing. If you knew how many times I dreamed about this place.
Please, Master Timothy, not the explosives.
Sorry. Jeez, I don't believe it. It's the real Robin suit, isn't it? Whatever happened to him?
Alfred? Right here, sir. You appeared to have suffered quite a shock to the system.
The boy.
He's here too, I'm afraid. But at least he was. Oh my.
Batman!
Batman! Wait, no, we're intelligenting this one.
Oh,
that was a Batman
Batman
episode.
episode.
We watched
Wow.
one Batman episode.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. We'll see you next week on the podcast that we host right here professionally.
Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, Brian, can you tell me what happened in Sins of the Father?
Synup. If you're wondering, Synup, what you just watched. Synup. Take a listen to the synopsis. The short summary, which is sometimes kind of long.
I'm going to use my intelligence to make an educated guess that everybody like rocks back and forth and does like a tiny little dance
Yeah.
when that plays.
Well, just like we did just now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. It's really hard not to.
It's
Intelligently.
So nice. It gets us in the intelligent professional mode to hear that song.
All right. What type of synop would you like today, Jamie? I got them all on hand.
Synop number 1. You give me the synop. Synop number 2. Then you give me more. And synop number 3. I make the synop. So a little boy is running down a street, and a cop's like, "Hey, my donuts." I'm doing it, I guess. Is it
Yeah, I
my
was gonna
donut?
say,
I make the
okay.
synop. Okay. And he jumps up on a fire escape, and then he gets away. And the guy calls him a little fuck or something like that.
He does. He's like, "Get back here, you little fuck." And I was like, "What?"
And then the kid goes home, but these two guys are there from Two-Face, and they're trying to get him for some reason, but we don't know why yet. And he's got posters of Batman all over his wall, and he's just living in like a dump apartment for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And then he skateboards down the stairs and gets away as they're shooting after him.
He rug boards down the railing.
No, that was pure Tony Hawk.
Oh,
he learned
sick.
it from playing his PS2 all day. He goes out the door and he runs into Two-Face. Two-Face is like, "Hey, come with me." Fade to black. Then we're at the docks, and Two-Face has little gloves for some reason, but he never puts them on his hands. He just holds them.
He uses them for slapping.
Yeah, they're his slapping gloves. They're his standards and practices can't hit a child slapping gloves. And then the child is like, "No, I won't tell you anything about my dad. Hey, why are you taking this piece of paper out of my pocket? It has a key in it." And Two-Face for some reason knows what the key is for, and they're gonna kill little boy.
Jamie.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what that key
Everybody
is for.
knows the key is for. Well, I was like, Batman. We were upset that Batman knew what the key was for because he's Batman, but Two-Face just also knew anyway. Maybe Tim Drake's dad was like told him about this before. I don't know. Anyway, they're gonna kill the kid. Everything's gonna explode. Batman's there punching guys, and he knew to be there, I guess. And but then Batman gets hit with a big hook and really fucked up by that for some reason. He got slammed into some barrels, and he turned 37 in this episode, and he decided he can't do anything anymore. He jumps into the water with Tim, and then they're like, "Go home, Batboat," and it takes them home. Not before they're in there and he's just pressing buttons, and you said opens hatch and then you get shot. Like, Tim is just dicking around. Yeah,
He's just college dicking around, slamming on buttons,
around in there, yeah.
trying to make the Batboat go, and it's just like, dude, the probability of you hitting the open hatch button is pretty high.
Yeah, not knowing anything about this. Maybe he does. Maybe he knows the ins and outs of the Batboat, since he seems to know everything else about Batman.
Yeah,
including
I don't know.
that there's a Batcave. This is the redesign of Sherbet. Actually, this is not a new character. You take it from here. They take the Batboat home.
Okay, well, Batboat goes home, opens hatch, and Alfred's like, "Oh, Batman's drunk and a kid drove home? That's weird."
He says, "Oh, my face is different."
Yeah. What do I think about eyeballs? Don't bother me with such a question. Okay, so basically Alfred's left to patch up Batman. Timmy is like just wandering all over the Wayne mansions like, "Oh, Batman is definitely Bruce Wayne. That's interesting news." And then Batgirl's like, "Hey, don't steal that stuff off the table. Come downstairs." And then they're like, Batgirl's like, hey, he saw everything. And you guys should be afraid. He's like, Timmy's like, no, I'm trustworthy. And then Batgirl starts to declothe the child. And
turns out there's money in there.
And then there's some money, which I don't know if she knew about. And everybody
and
sees that he's a thief.
Much like Two-Face earlier, kill him. Guess that's the only option. He took my $50. What am I going to do?
$50 and a watch, and he knows who I am. Time to kill a child. That's fine. It's all in a day's work for Batman.
He's just always out there killing children. That's kind of his
what
thing.
He does. Yeah. That's why him and the Sewer King butted heads, because Sewer King wanted to collect them and Batman wanted to kill them.
Kill him.
Kill him.
He's been trying to kill all the children the whole time, but the bad guys get in the way, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm totally here to save you and adopt you." And
it's not
I got roped into this again. I was just trying to kill a child.
It's not that Batman wants to save the children. It's just that he wants to kill the bad guys just a little bit more.
Superman wants to kiss everybody. Batman wants to kill all the children.
It's
when
quite
they
a
meet,
combo.
It'll be I know they'll have differences of ideologies, but
oh my god,
you play chicken long enough, you fry. I'll make sure of it. Anyway,
oh my god, yeah. Where? What are we doing? Where are we?
They go to Batman sees that the key goes to the airport.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So like, Timmy's like, hey, I got this paper from my dad.
The key fell out and you said, come on.
He sees an impression of a key.
Oh, that's right. The key wasn't even there.
Nope. No impression left on a piece of paper by a key. And Batgirl's like, Bruce, what do you think of this? And Batman's like, yeah, that key.
I know this one. Yeah. I've memorized every key shape in the whole town.
That key goes to the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he didn't say where in the airport or what, just like, oh, that's an airport key. Duh. Holy shit. And so they go to the airport, and sure enough, there's Two-Face and company, and they're opening a lockbox. And inside
also
the
knew where to go.
Yeah, because that key says, it doesn't say anything, but like obviously it implies airport.
Maybe the key did say airport, and we missed that, and we're stupid. But I don't think so.
There wasn't writing on it.
We can't be stupid.
Nope.
No, we're intelligent.
Yeah, so smart. Oh, that's right. We got to be smart. Well, smart people don't have to think, so I'm just going to roll straight into the continuation of my explanation.
No more
so
for the rest of the podcast.
Batman and Two-Face start to have themselves a scuffle, and Two-Face decides to escape pre-scuffle on the luggage carrier
it's so
mobile.
Hard not to I'm like watching you suffer through this.
I'm trying to be faster than my mouth. My brain is trying to be faster than my mouth, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So, therefore, Batman is crawling on the luggage mobile towards Two-Face. Two-Face unloads all of the bullets in his gun. And... Shit.
Boy.
Batman uses the suitcase to block the bullets.
He does.
He successfully blocks bullets.
Yeah, continue.
You got to fix that.
I know all the soundboard things just have for some reason decided they're going to just...
Your button isn't set up to be play stop. It's set up to be play pause.
Hang on. I fixed it. Anyway.
Yay. I think I'm getting really detailed. We're being very
this is
detailed
too much.
in this. Okay.
Yeah, he becomes Robin in the end.
I like it.
And then College Dick shows up to say a little smarty pants thing, and the episode is over.
Not before Batman says, Dick.
Yeah, you and Batman both said Dick at the same time. It was good.
We rehearsed it.
Yeah.
There was no ums. We just intelligented up and we just said
Dick.
But we got to see an old Dick.
Yeah, an older Dick. A little more wrinkly Dick than the last time we saw him, probably. But although I would say that everyone's a little less wrinkly in this art style. I don't know. Maybe Commissioner Gordon more, but
Yeah.
The official synopsis, it's another one-sentencer. This story tells the origin of the new Robin. This is with no Oxford comma, so I'll read it as written.
Okay.
This story tells the origin of the new Robin, Tim Drake, and how getting in Two-Face's way leads him to a partnership with the Dark Knight. Do you like that?
I do not.
Ouch.
As an intelligent man, I prefer an Oxford comma, despite Weird Al's song Word Crimes, which I do not agree with that one.
Yeah, I don't get why people are against it.
Why would you be against
good about
an Oxford
not having
comma?
it? Yeah. I don't know. Hey, so this was a pretty good episode.
This is a pretty good.
Taking forever.
This is a pretty good episode. We're just taking our time with the Sinyop. We're savoring. We're using our intelligence to savor the pot. You got to do this with your hand when you're savoring.
Oh,
can you, listener? Will you do this motion?
Can you taste it?
Just taste the.
Taste the father, the sins, the of.
No.
There wasn't much father in this episode for an episode with the word father in the title. I mean, I guess it was technically all about him, but also he was just a picture on a computer.
We don't know for a fact that there's a single father in this episode.
Two-Face probably got somebody out there. I don't know. Grace,
probably.
Did you get a pregnancy test?
Maybe you should get 2 of them. It might be twins.
He probably would have twins. Yeah,
he would have to. Can you imagine Two-Face only having 1 kid? He'd be so distraught.
What did I do wrong? What's going on? I think Two-Face has the Batman, the like Dark Knight Batman voice. We haven't made this comparison yet, but
Dad, why don't you love me? You're everything that's wrong with the world.
Grace and I had sex on the giant penny and it only produced 1 child. What's going on? I asked Abraham Lincoln for luck. I did the coin flip for twins and it landed good side up. The universe is supposed to obey, but it didn't. Anyway, the episode itself, good. There were many moments where there were not like sound effects or people talking or anything. It was like almost just music a few times, and I really liked that. It was getting me in the zone for like, AutoZone. Is that what you were thinking?
Well, I was thinking you were savoring.
Savoring the moment. Yes, tasty. That's what we said. Dick.
Savor the dick. No.
The sweet, sweet taste. I wouldn't know.
Intelligence only.
Intelligence.
Turn it up to 10, Jamie. Let's talk science.
Okay. What happened in this episode that we can discuss? I felt like we were both just like watching the episode for once. Like there wasn't a lot to make fun of. The key thing was like really the only thing we were like, what the fuck? Like you said that was far too Superman of him or something.
It was like just a solution presented to us.
Yeah. The paper would have to be so thin that the imprint of the key was so obviously noticeable to Batman, and yet thick enough that it wouldn't just like Batman lightly breathes on it and the imprint is gone.
I don't know what kind of paper would leave such a perfect impression of a key, enough so that it's identifiable to the point that you're like, airport. Like, I think if you use some like thick cardboard paper and you like hammered an impression of a key into it, maybe you'd have some luck. But this was like
Two-Face took his black and white crayons and rubbed over the top of it to get the shape. Yeah, the lines.
Oh my God, that was a little much. But you know what? Whatever.
So did you expect? I mean, okay, we talked last time in your prediction about how this was going to be the new baby Robin's origin story. But when you're watching this, did you remember that that's what we were going to be seeing, and that like this kid, was it just some kid at the start to you, or was like, oh yeah, of course this is the Robin?
Jamie, I remember everything.
Yeah, I know. You idiot. Yeah.
Of course I knew. It was his hair. It was my last week's
Robin
prediction
hair.
in his hair. This is everything I expected to happen. The key, I admittedly.
Oh, that's true. That's right. You did know the whole episode. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that's right.
Classic me. So jovial. So intelligent.
I think last time we talked about how this whole podcast episode was going to just be an hour and a half of you crying or something like that. So we've already ruined that. But.
Crying of intelligence.
Oh, yes. The intellect is leaking from my eyes. There's so much of it built up inside my head.
It's like an overflow on a water catchment system. You just have to keep the fresh intellect in.
So it's weird to me, this episode, because you, like, you, a normie, are watching this just being like, yep, I guess there's another Robin, and that's like the whole thing to you. Whereas in the comics, this is actually the third Robin Tim Drake is.
Oh.
But they completely skipped the second one for this show because Jason Todd is the name. I don't know if that rings a bell to you at all, but
Of course it does.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember a tombstone that says Todd and like it's sad Batman or something.
In the comics, he gets killed by the Joker. He gets
See, I knew that.
Crowbarred to death. There was a shot of a guy hitting Robin with a crowbar in this episode. I don't know if that's a reference or not. But
that's too soon.
Yeah, it really is. But there's been interviews with Paul Dini and people about like, we figured we just wouldn't be able to really do that Robin without like
killing
having
him
to murder him. Yeah. So they just skipped him. But there's a lot of like origin stuff from Jason Todd thrown into Tim Drake. They're kind of a combo of the two characters.
Hence the crowbar.
Yes. Hence the sins plural of the father singular. Father time.
Sins of the fathers.
Oh.
Why not?
That's a different episode later, actually.
You gotta be kidding. I mean, of course it is.
Wait, is it sins or is it sons? Let me check this out. Hang on.
No, it's not sons.
Fuck,
it's sons. like
it's sons with a U. Yeah,
like astronomical bodies.
Yes, of the fathers with a U. We don't have anything to talk about with this episode because we liked it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about some stuff. I mean, what do you want? Just how was your day?
Just start talking.
Just that's what a podcast is. Just two guys. We're just two guys talking,
chilling on Zoom,
just having a podcast.
Hundreds of miles apart because we're not gay.
We're not hundreds of miles apart.
I don't actually know the distance.
It's
100 something, isn't it?
I give it 109 miles.
It's a miraculous feat of clay that we can talk to each other in such a fashion. Future
Jamie
is here. The future is now. No, it's 208 one way.
Yeah,
so, it is hundreds.
More than I was expecting.
So the cast of this episode is Kevin Conroy as Batman / Bruce Wayne, Matthew Valencia as Robin / Tim Drake, Tara Cherendoff as Batgirl / Barbara Gordon. I don't know why we get all their... Like, he wasn't Bruce Wayne at all in this episode, and she wasn't Barbara Gordon at all in this. I guess they're always those people, technically, but...
Why not?
Ephraim Zimbalist Jr., who finally gets a comma in the credits as Alfred. All the B-Test episodes just said Ephraim Zimbalist Jr., like as one non-separated name.
Oh, but we're bringing back Oxford commas.
Bring back the comma. That's where it went from the description into the cast, the credits. Richard Moore as Two-Face.
Interesting.
Peter Jason as Manny, who was previously a goon named Mason in It's Never Too Late, forever ago. And Lauren Lester as Dick Grayson. I think Lauren Lester was also the other blonde goon because he said like one thing and I was like, oh, there's Lauren Lester. Just like if you were listening and he just gave away that you'd see some dick at the end of the episode is all I'm saying.
Nice. That's my favorite.
I got some pretty short trivs for this.
Give them to me.
Okay. This episode's title comes from the phrase sins of the fathers, which derives from biblical concepts of the sins or iniquities of one generation passing to another.
You know what? It's funny. I've noticed a lot of like Christian, like biblical lore thrown into this show.
In the titles of things.
Yeah. It's rampant.
Get it out of here. I don't know if there's a theme necessary. I think it's just like looking for a cool sounding title.
Go to the Bible.
Two-Face hides out of the fictional Janus movie theater. Janus was the name of the two-faced Roman god of doors. He was also the name Two-Face was referred to as by Maxie Zeus at the end of Fire from Olympus.
And
Two-Faced Janus, he says. He said
amazing.
Janus, though. When Batgirl says, "From you, heaven forbid," 2 nose-like lines appear next to her usual drawn nose.
Didn't notice.
When Batgirl unfolds the paper, we can clearly see that there is only one imprint of the key. However, having been folded up within the paper, it should be imprinted in 2 places.
At least.
Yeah. In our interview with Rich Fogel, he stated that while writing this episode, he had a hard time acclimating to working on a superhero show that allowed more action than Super Friends and was continually told to push it further.
Oh.
It's kind of an interesting thing, yeah. I don't remember him talking about that, which I feel bad about, but it was cited as our video on the wiki, so.
Jamie, there's a lot of info you've been handed over the years.
It really is.
Don't be so hard on yourself. It's not like you're as intelligent as I am.
Yes, you make this very, like, what's that meme of the, like alpha man with the big chin, like he's like super like ripped shredded guy, and it's just like a very like kind of rage comic looking face that you make every time that you're I'm really intelligent. Like, I don't know, I can't.
I mean, I don't know why you keep saying that, Jamie. This is just my face.
Right, oh, sorry, whoops.
So, something we actually left out as kind of an interesting triv thing.
Yeah.
The what are the theatrical masks called?
Oh, the like comedy drama
Tip-Tapricot
things.
I'm looking at you.
The face of comedy, the face of drama, or something like that.
Oh, that is
along those lines.
That is not a. That's
what.
Those are some names that I'm not gonna try to pronounce. But you know, the one smiling, the one unhappy theater mask thing in the theater over the projection screen.
Oh, Talia and Melpomene. Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, the Talia I felt pretty okay about, but the other anyway.
Melpomene, I don't know. Yeah. Tell us, people that know things that are intelligent, unlike us.
Yep.
Yeah, they were both sad, is what you were going to say.
They were both frowny faces, and I was like, that's not how that works.
I don't know if that's a mistake or was that like a purposeful Two-Face thing.
I mean, it seems like it would have been really great as a Two-Face thing to have the opposites, right?
Yeah,
otherwise they just call them
normal.
like one face.
This was how I felt on both faces when my son was born, and it was just one guy. So let's talk about keen effects in the episode. I really liked you also reacted to it, but there was a shot where they're fighting behind the screen. You see their like silhouettes, and then Batman throws a guy, or somebody throws a guy out the screen, and his like shadow. His shadow like gets tiny as he gets toward the screen, and then he bursts out and becomes large again as he's flying it past the camera. I really liked that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any other key effects. That was like the one standout thing.
Post explosion on the docks, Timmy comes up from the water, and he's like this kind of weird, like monochromatic. Look at that! Look at him using multiple syllables now in words.
So intelligent.
It's like monochromatic, sort of like pencil line only. Like impression, and then the water like drains away and his like color and stuff comes back.
They looked at him and they said airport. They knew.
Yep. Yeah. Why couldn't if the letter just said this is a key to my airport lockbox?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have questioned it.
Yeah. They had to throw some sort of
just one curveball. They're like, we're using all our intelligence, and we know that on January 9th at fucking 3:50 p.m. A couple of guys in Big Bus and Big Bus Removed are going to be needing to talk about this. So let's give them something.
Big Bus Removed. with a comma.
Bus removed.
Big dick at the end of the episode.
Oh.
He was bigger now, probably. Who knows?
He looked bigger.
When they get in the bat boat and Batman basically says, "Alexa, take me home," and you made that joke, but then later when Alfred does one of my least favorite television tropes or movie tropes or whatever, which is, oh, there's something on TV that you have to see. And then the person takes a few seconds to go turn on the TV. And by the time they get there, the thing they need to see is just starting to happen. Opens up the TV and Two-Face is there to go, hey, I'm saying the first important thing. I wasn't saying anything important before this. So it's like, I hate that so much. But then that was another, Alexa, turn on the TV or whatever.
There's two pieces of media, one TV show, one movie that I can think that does this well. And it's just like they just solved the problem. I've never seen anybody else do it. On 28 Days Later, the movie, there's a radio broadcast from the military that's on a loop.
Yeah.
And they turn it on, not right at the beginning. It kind of comes in, and then like you get most of the information, and the guy's like, yeah, it's just on a loop, whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, cool, like solves all the problem. Community, in one of the episodes where they're like, it's kind of a bottle episode, but they're like reenacting like horror movie things. I don't know if you're...
I mean, I've seen all of them, but I don't particularly remember.
Like Abed is explaining like a real life what you do in if it was actually like a horror movie and there was like a crazy person with a knife.
Like the Halloween episode?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And in his explanation of it, so they're kind of like showing they're showing what he's explaining. And it's like Abed turns on the radio and it's just music for a while, and then it cuts back to the real world and he's just like humming, and they're like, why don't you just get to it? He's like, it's totally improbable. You turn it on at the exact right moment. And I've always loved that, man, because it's these tropes that, like, of course filmmakers are like, who cares, just put it in there, whatever.
Right.
But like, can't we make reality happen? Can't we have it come in halfway through, and then the person has to give like a little bit of an exposition to catch them up to what happened?
I think it's in The Dark Knight where Alfred and Batman or Alfred and Bruce Wayne are having like a conversation. They're two different people, are having a conversation in his loft or whatever, and the TV's already on in the background, and then they like turn up the volume once they notice that something they need to pay attention to is happening. There's not like a person coming in, you better turn on the TV. Then we cut to the Joker going, and then you want to add some parsley, and is Batman watching now? Okay, let me say stuff. Like, just whatever is not important. Yeah,
that's amazing.
One of my things about this episode that I don't like is I've had to use it in so many videos over the years. So like scrubbing through like frame by frame, looking for shit and whatever, picking shots out of this. The Blu-ray version of this, there's some sort of, I don't know how it happened, kind of error where the whole episode's fine. Then when Alfred says, hey, turn on the TV, Two-Face is saying some shit. They turn on the TV, and as the screen comes up of Two-Face, there's like a blue like filter kind of deal over the TV that's like, it's a TV. Like it'd be bluer. But then when the broadcast is over and it goes back to the Batcave, that blue filter is on the rest of the episode. And it's so subtle, but if you like click into one of the shots post Two-Face and pre Two-Face, like it's like warmer for the first half of the episode or whatever. So it's really unfortunate. Like I don't know how that happened or why.
Why wasn't that in the trivs, Jamie?
I'm telling you now.
It's
an unkeen effect to me.
Oh, that's where we were, huh?
It sure is. We can move on to the next segment, though, which I have in the Holiday Nights episode. People on the Discord were like, oh, the Batman's usefulness really needs a theme song. So we have two different submissions, and neither of them are serious, I don't think, but I've thought about trying to turn them into something. So this first one is from Dr. Derp. I'll play it for you.
Batman's usefulness. How useful is he?
Which I think is supposed to be the notes of the theme song. And then we have one from Ryan Hipp.
It's Batman's usefulness, baby boo. There you go.
So I don't know if you have a preference between those two, but I saved them both.
Oh my God. We can just like alternate, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I think Batman did a pretty good job. Yeah, other than being hit by a hook and just being knocked the hell out, what if a little boy wasn't there? You know, what would Batman would have just died, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Probably.
But also, I've been thinking lately about how we haven't really been doing this segment the way we were quote unquote supposed to at the start, where we decided that was like, if Batman wasn't there, how much of the episode would be different. Yeah.
Was that at the exact same moment for you, or was there a delay?
Just for you. Yeah.
It was really nice on my side.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to the recording version.
Yeah. If you can edit those together on the recording, that'd be
to
sweet.
Make sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Pan it left and right in the stereo if you could as well. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Thank
definitely.
you.
It's already happened several seconds ago by now, and everyone was confused when it happened. But now that we have these explanations, it's all fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
So if Batman wasn't there...
If you could cut the explanation and move it before we said the thing, that'd be great too.
No, I don't think I can do that.
You can.
I won't.
Okay.
So if Batman wasn't there, the little boy would have died. Tim Drake would die.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess he was at least useful in stopping the child from dying. But that's all he's wanting. That's all he's trying to do ever is kill kids. He's failing left and right. I don't know. I'll give him like a 6. 6 Two-Face gloves. I don't know. 6. Where did he put that glove out of 10?
Okay.
Never seen again.
I think 6 is a good number. I feel pretty, if not 7. I mean, he did it. I think he did a good job, and he's like stepping in to train the next generation. Like he's teaching Robin to. Also, he didn't explain what College Dick is up to and why he can't be a crime fighter anymore.
They will. But
okay. It's not just that Batman only hangs out with children.
Well, you're too old for me, Dick. Get out of here. Yeah.
You've turned 18. I can no longer be seen with you.
Batgirl's about to go to college. Just getting time. I gotta get a new one. So that they didn't explain in this either is like Batgirl's just in the Batcave working with Batman now, like whatever.
Yeah. I was a little thrown off by that, but it's just like, I mean, like Alfred's like, oh, I called her.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, I think we've talked in Holiday Nights, this show is about 2 years after BTAS. So there's some stuff has happened and this show decides to let it play out as like, in this episode, we'll do an episode about this thing you're confused about. Like this came after there was already a new Robin. Now we'll tell you why or whatever. So
I do respect that actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So with that in mind, I'm going to give this 7 key impressions on a several times folded piece of paper out of 10.
Okay, good. The one thing that we thought was dumb about the episode.
Oh, yeah. Leaning into it.
I feel like you also you said when Two-Face got on that like luggage cart, you were like, oh, that's what you're going to escape on? Because I had a feeling maybe those don't actually drive as fast as that was driving.
Yeah, I don't think so. Probably not fast enough to crash it.
Yeah, to topple it over like that. I did like all the times that Tim Drake would like he threw a battering to undo some ropes or something, but he also he threw it to like, no, I got this shit down, and he just throws it and like destroys some stalactites.
Yes, nice.
And I did tight top. And you're just like, wow, just break Batman's house or whatever, just ruin his furniture. I don't know. I just thought that was good. I thought that was funny.
I mean,
you say funny things.
Oh, thank you. No, it was. I thought that was kind of a weird. Like, yeah, it's the Bat Cave, but I mean, you don't know. You don't know what the dude wants in his house, right? You can't just go in and start cutting pieces of it off.
Those Andrea Beaumont gave me those stalactites when we were going to get married, and they're very important to me.
It was a wedding gift.
Yeah. And then she called it off immediately. I think the shot goes by way too fast. I think of all the like pictures of Batman and stuff on Tim Drake's wall. That's supposed to clue you into like, oh, he's like a super fan of Batman, so he would know these things, and he found a battering somewhere and all this stuff.
It read more like a serial killer.
Yeah, he just like, I've been looking forward to being here, and you're like, how do you know here exists or whatever? How do you know that there's a Batcave? He talked to Sherbet. He's friends with Sherbet at school, I guess. I don't know.
Everybody knows now.
Everybody knows Sherbet. Where's Clayface? Was he in those thermoses of liquid?
Yes.
It's the gas liquid.
Thank you for bringing that up. We didn't talk about that. Two-Face opening up his case, and there's just a red and a blue like thermos. Looks like an 80s thermos.
And I need this. He says like Steve Martin as he walks away.
I'm picking up my thermos to blow up the city.
Not just one thermos, it's 2.
Hit that applause button,
It
Jamie,
rhymed with the original lyric, but not Brian's lyric. You agree he's the like carbonated beverages in the thing?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Was this episode books or hip-hop?
Hip-hop.
Okay. I was leaning more books.
That's cool.
But yeah.
Your books are your own, man.
We can do whatever we want. It's our podcast. And the top 10. We have to put it on the TNBA top 10, of course, but do you like it more than Holiday Nights or less than Holiday Nights?
I liked it more.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. What about you?
I think it's just under for me. Like we're in such disagreement here. But I'm putting it just under because Sons of the Feather. Thank you. Birds of a Feather Part 2. I thought it was a very good episode, but I didn't think it was as like entertaining. I don't know, as Holiday Nights was.
Oh, yeah.
Are you second guessing? I don't know. Holiday Nights had like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, it's Clayface and Harvey Bullock was Santa and all this cool stuff.
I know. I was just thinking, especially about the impact of the end and like with the conversations we've been having with Dylan and Keen. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't do that. Oh wait, whoops.
It's spelled ONLEATHER Onleal. You won't know what the fuck that means. There we go. He has it in the right order now. But do you think that this beats anything for the Yop 10 if you want to look down there at those?
No, I don't think so. Okay. What about you?
I'm struggling now with like
Joker's.
I think we decided that if it's a standout episode to us, it can go on there, but it doesn't have to be in the same order as the top 10 lists. Like, for example, I didn't put Holiday Nights on here on the Yop 10, but I could put Sins of the Father. It doesn't matter. But I don't think I will. Man,
I don't want to mess with. I kind of don't want to mess with B-Test. Like, I kind of want to leave this.
You have the B-Test lists below. We saved the B-Test lists.
Oh, I was looking for specifically. Okay, sick.
So the Yop 10 can be fucked with.
Right. I don't know why my brain. No, intelligent. I know
Intelligence,
why. I was being
everything.
An idiot.
Yes. It was on purpose.
Still, Joker's Favor's pretty good. Definitely not. Yeah.
I feel like that one's still just hanging on this list strangely for in my opinion. I mean, it's not a bad episode. It's the first Harley Quinn episode. It's got some good humor, like the end where Batman, like, save me from this guy. Holy shit.
And he does his the pin thing. I got the pin on my
no. That's
that's
the
earlier.
Last Laugh. That's the Captain Clown episode. So you don't even remember.
No.
You have your cheat sheet down at the bottom to remember what Joker's Favor was about.
I do.
An everyman schmo named Charlie Collins insults the wrong supervillain on the road, leaving the terrified loser at the beck and call of the Joker. 2 years later, he cashes in with Collins, who desperately tries to find a way to alert Batman to his master's evil scheme. Do you like that more than what we just watched?
I mean, I kind of want to put Holiday Nights over Joker's Favor, actually.
Yeah, do it. Whatever you want to do, baby.
Can I do that, like, after the fact?
Retroactively? Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's our podcast. Who cares?
Whoops.
Holy nights.
There we go.
Oh, holy night. Yeah. All right. That's the stuff we do. I mean, do the mail now.
Hooray.
Yeah.
That yacht.
And then I'll tell Brian the name of the next episode and he tries to guess what it's about.
We drop
what we drop.
Our weekly
those.
into the comment box. There sure was a lot.
Now Jamie's mad.
Too bad we're all.
At least I am.
Just Dylan Paula.
Holy shit.
What?
Are we going to have a mail segment on March 9th?
March 9th. I've thought about this a lot, actually. I can't decide whether we should include... So we know that Keen and Dylan, particularly, might not be there, despite wanting to very badly.
Yeah.
If they're not there, I'm inclined to play voice messages from some of the, like, people that have been doing them since the start kind of folks, such as those two and others. But I think it would be mostly fun to be, like... The mail segment for this episode.
Oh, right. We're saying what's the audience?
If you're there. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Come up to the mic and say a thing or ask a thing or whatever.
I like that. My thought was, do you think we can sucker Kimmy into playing that live?
Oh, yeah, that could be fun. if she's like not nervous about it or whatever. You know, no pressure.
Kimmy, think about that. We'll talk about it later because I'm going to forget to ask you now.
But you'll listen to the podcast.
Yeah. And you're probably going to be like in your ceramic studio and your hands are going to be covered in ceramicsness and we won't be able to. But
you'll
like,
just
you know
scream,
what? Later,
Brian, I don't want to do that. And then we'll try to convince you to do it anyway. Yeah. I can see the future.
Mail.
Yeah. If you want to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of the Cat in the Claw Part 2, so long ago, you can send a punctuated email or a 60-second voice message to batwagonpod@gmail.com or leave a comment on today's episode on the Podtower YouTube channel, but please don't spoil anything past this episode for Brian. This is one that we missed last time on accidents from Ryan Hip. Mixiez pee-pee poopulated. If Jamie read that with just the right amount of stupid, it will make my week. I hope that was the right amount of stupid.
What am I even doing here? Why am I doing this? What am I supposed to do with this episode? I feel like anything I try is just going to be... I don't know. Let's just get this over with, I guess. Yeah, it's probably actually everybody's favorite, Mixius Pixelated, the greatest episode of the entire series so far.
Round-the-clock pizza.
There's not really much I can say about it. It pretty much speaks for itself. I do want to go back to something I mentioned at Stolen Member Berries, the moment when Lex uses the remote to levitate the general. I said it felt like something out of The Simpsons. I get that again in this episode with my favorite moment when it's like...
Oh, that's not important,
Yeah.
Clark. What really matters is following through with a nice firm peck when scratching up corn.
I don't know, there's just something about that has big Simpsons energy to me. So, yeah, fuck it! I'm gonna play my last 10 voice messages on top of each other, sped up with chipmunk voices! Thank you, Big Pussy! Good night!
Oh, God.
Why am I eating this?
You know, if there's one thing I hate, it's pitched up chipmunk voices.
Wow, I've never wanted a soundboard more in my life.
So that you could also do that?
I'm gonna go analog soundboard and just get myself several helium balloons. For the podcast
soundboard.
Live in Eugene, Oregon on March 9th.
March 9th!
Anyway, we're going to move on to the more recent comments and emails and stuff from episode 105, Mixies Pixelated or McGurk Works, Feet Joe Scott. This is from Carly Barrett. Robbins... Bruce Wayne, if I had a nickel for every time I indoctrinated a dark-haired orphan into my personal war on crime, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice.
Thank you, Doofenshmirtz.
New Robin. And speaking of Robins and Mixie Spitlick from last week, they recently, just a fun fact, in the comics gave Dick his own fifth-dimensional imp called Dixel. 10 out of 10, no notes. But now that we have Tim Drake in the DCAU, we can fulfill the time-honored Batman fan tradition of arguing about who is the best Robin. If you're asking me, and if you mean best Robin, like who helps Batman the most, I vote Tim. If you mean most Robin-y, like essence of Robin, I vote Dick. What do you think, James and Brian? And then also on a side note, thank God Dick did not turn around so we could see his hair at the end of this episode. Because that is a horror story for another time.
What?
That's a spoiler. Yeah, we'll get there. Don't worry.
We get to talk dick hair?
Yeah, we're going to talk about the dick hair eventually.
Oh, this is not intelligent anymore.
Was it ever? I don't think so.
Once.
Yeah, maybe episode 1 or something that had a hint of it.
Maybe.
About
like which is your
the 2 Robins? Yeah,
Robin?
I don't think that we've had enough time with this one to make a decision. At least Brian hasn't. Yeah.
I haven't, but if you wanted to talk on that,
I think I
fine.
agree with that assessment of usefulness versus essence of Robin or whatever.
I noticed there was a pun in this one. From
yeah,
Tim.
He did sort of switch into like a dick personality as soon as he showed up. He kicked the gun away from the guy and he's like, haha, Robin phrase, and then turned around. Like he wasn't really talking like that before, but he's like, I know how Robin is because I'm a serial killer and I've stalked Robin my whole life and I know everything he does.
Yeah, that was kind of like when he was like in the Batcave, like, oh, the Robin suit. I'm like, that would be you. If this was real life and you were in the Batcave, you'd be like, yellow bat suit.
Well, that's the thing is like, We've done a whole video on this, and you and I can talk about this many episodes from now, probably. But that Robin costume is differently colored than Dick's Robin costume. Like,
and the mask was different too, right?
Maybe a little bit, but it's mostly like the sleeves and legs were green on Dick, and then they're black on this one with like red leggings. Yeah, so it's a weird. Where did he put that? Where does this come from? You know,
it was from the last couple of years that we didn't see.
Right. There is an answer, but it's not in the shows. So eventually I'll explain it to you if you remind me or care ever.
Great.
Mega Man. Very weird to hear a Superman villain who's been around since 1944, been very consistent since then, and was created by both of his creators, Superman's creators, to be criticized as not very Superman. I guess it chalks up to just the unfamiliarity with the character. To people like Brian who don't know about the difference between the multiple Robins, or that there even are multiple, it makes no difference, but it essentially just cuts out any Tim stories from happening, especially since he was in his late teens when he joined, making him a very different character. I don't know that doesn't affect you too much right now, I suppose.
No.
Or at all ever.
Maybe later. I don't know.
Yeah. Davin Deptuk. Long since irrelevant continuity notes. Still read, please.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. Hello, Brixton and Jordalflop. I found a note on my phone with these two observations about the cat in the claw and on leather wings, but I never got around to sending an email about it until now, so here you go. Way back in the Cat in the Claw Part 2, or Big Bad Fire Time, you hypothesized that technically all the episodes sandwiched between the first and second parts could have happened in that time frame. However, this is not possible, as in Part 1, Red Claw states they will be hijacking such and such train tomorrow, and that train is hijacked in Part 2, meaning that Part 2 happens the very next day. There were too many days and nights in the intervening episodes for the air date order to be canonically chronological. Very good, very good.
What if there was like a couple of eclipses that happened that day?
Yeah. You ever think about that? For On Leather Wings, Brian was annoyed that Batman saying, "It's over for now" at the end to Francine made no sense, since Kirk had been transforming back and forth between Man-Bat and human the whole episode. Why would Bats' antidote change anything then? You have no memory. Neither of us have any memory of you asking this question. But, during Kirk's epic villain monologue before he transmogrifies, he says that the last chemical he just took when Batman got there was what would make the change permanent. So that's what Bruce undid. Okay, cool. Also, there was one guy a few episodes back who said he was listening from somewhere in Ontario, Canada, I believe. So I'm here to say I too live in Ontario, in Kingston. It's a joy to listen to you guys. Thanks for the 100 or so hours of quality podcast listening. Until next time, may it rain maple syrup when you least expect. Thank you. Canada, man.
As a New Englander who also really digs on maple syrup, like quality maple syrup, I appreciate that.
Do you have an Ontarianian wall list?
I don't.
All right. We can't do everybody. This is from Kyle. Naranya, maybe?
Says Speaking of Ontario?
Oh my God, yeah. The audio file is called Only One Ontarian.
James and Brian, hello. I've been catching up with the podcast, and it has come to my attention that there is another Canadian, dare I say, Ontario-based listener, which unfortunately I cannot have, as Ontario has the same rules as Highlander, and I must invoke these rights. Sorry, do you guys hear that? What is that? Oh no, they're coming for me first. No, I must be prepared. Where is my sword? Help!
There can be only one.
No!
Use of Clancy Brown also. Sorry, Kyle. I guess Kyle's gone forever now.
Maybe he just tripped and fell down somewhere, and that's what that was. He's probably okay.
Oh, yeah. I just played a Clancy Brown voice clip and then fell. That makes sense.
I've done that before.
He's drifting between portals like Tip Tap Apricot.
I like it. Make it canon.
This is from Zachary Diamond. First email. Wait. Oh, that's the wrong button. Hang on a second. I'm so sorry about that. That's the one I meant to press. Hi, James and Brian. I started listening to the Jump on the Bat-Wagon last summer, and I just got caught up finally. James has meant that's a good amount of time to listen to the podcast. Congratulations.
That feels fine.
That's nice. Yeah. You get one of these. You get 5 guys clapping and cheering.
Yeah.
Woo! Good job.
Last summer catch up. Yeah.
Summer. James has mentioned some of my tweets on the podcast, which I appreciate. It's been interesting going through the DCAU with a critical mind like Brian's. Intelligent. He reminds me of my older brother, whose suspicion of disbelief is pretty non-existent. Suspension of disbelief is pretty suspicion of. I'm never suspicious.
That doesn't exist.
Even disbelief. I don't think so. Even with shows he supposedly hates, like, wait, hang on. Even with shows he supposedly likes, such as Hey Arnold. Okay, you had me scared there for that. I thought you hated Hey Arnold. I was born when the two shows you're covering now were airing, so I wouldn't really watch them much for a long time. My introduction to the DCAU was still Batman the Animated Series, thanks to the Adventures of Batman and Robin VHSs, which I've loved hearing people mention on this podcast. As a result, my first DCAU episode ever was Christmas with the Joker, which I love dearly, as flawed as it may be. Still, I was aware of STES and TNBA as well as the other DCAU shows as they came out, give or take the Zeta Project, and I noticed a lot of the changes TNBA made, but I don't remember being particularly bothered by them, maybe because I didn't watch the show much then. Anyway, thanks for doing this amazing podcast, and stay Yoppie, best Zach Diamond. Thank you, Zach, very much. Brian, you had a comment, I think, about that when I said, like, oh, what happened to your eyes, Alfred? And you're like, it's whatever at this point. Like you're just like, I'm just expecting everyone to look different. You haven't made a single comment on Batman's costume change yet, I've noticed, but
I think it's just within the style. Like it's not like nothing's a direct. Actually, Batgirl's pretty close, huh?
I mean, it's all black now, but yeah. Some of the stuff gets explanations like within the universe, and then other stuff you have to just go like, it's different. Like a video that we did on all of Batman's costumes a while back, some of the people we talked to, like the producers and stuff, were their opinions on this stuff was essentially like, you're just looking at it. I use this phrase in videos a lot, is you're looking at it through a different lens. It's just the same people, it's the same, they look the same basically, but you just put a filter over it. Now it's this, now it's Superman style or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's you had your holiday nights to go, what the fuck is going on? And now you're just like, I guess it's this.
Well, I guess to me, it's like everything is so different. Like the art is different. The depths of it is so different that like that's the more distracting thing than a costume change.
Okay.
Like Alfred's eyes, the Joker's eyes, I'm like, that's messed up. But like the clothing, I don't know, whatever.
Well, it's like you said at the start, like, oh, it's weird that the art is so modern, but the backgrounds look the same or whatever. Like it's the same. And it is mostly the same just people. Yeah. It
was mostly just that intro.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, like the red sky at the beginning of the episode, and I was like, cool. That like it's like old Batman vibes. And then as we got a minute in, it just seemed kind of more simplified.
Oh yeah, man, it was kind of a very detailed alleyway. I don't know. Fiacra Horgan. Hey guys, new sensors, baby. Kids getting shot at by actual guns. Two-Face striking a kid in the face. A John Doe being found in the river. This is what we've been missing out on.
That's a fair point.
PSA. I do not endorse violence against children. I'm like,
Batman does.
Unless it's against evil banana baby. That kid's got it coming. I feel like it's going to take Brian a while to get over the redesigns. I personally like Two-Face and Alfred. They're just a little bit sleeker than before. Everyone in Gotham has either gone to Weight Watchers or they've all had a stroke like Gordon.
My God.
I like the new Batboat design, but I despise the new Batmobile. The BTAS Batmobile and grapnel gun designs are goated with the sauce, as the kids would say. And look, College Dick has now graduated to Man Dick. I'm sure that's an appropriate joke to make about a kid's cartoon. Until next time, stay Yoppie. Thank you. I forgot the Batmobile was even in this episode. Neither of us said anything about it.
I mean, it was pretty brief.
This is from Lanola Cola. Talk on the Super Cape. Two-Face hates the baker's dozen. We're back to Bat 6 with the new Batman Adventures, new Brian and James. And we're in for a treat with Sins of the Father, a.k.a. Tim Drake's origin story. Alfred remembers the Underdwellers. Maybe that's why he was, oh dear, when the thing opened, like, not again. Not another frog running around. No, not that level from Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Suddenly there came a dick. My word. The release schedule of TNBA makes the returns to Batman feel like you're returning home. Just the tone and style feel so familiar. Yeah, you had that, I think. You were just like, every time the opening starts, you're like, oh, I'm so glad it's Batman. Just like he said last episode where I thought you were saying, if it's a Superman episode, I don't like it. But you weren't saying that. You were saying a different thing. Some things that threw me off during the most recent viewing is Batgirl's attitude while working alongside Batman. The tone of her "can we go home now" comment felt a bit sus. When did she say that?
I don't recall.
I don't remember that. It's probably happened though. Batman's more distant yet controlling demeanor towards Tim as the new Robin, and Dick's surprise coming. Lastly, Two-Face's Tommy gun appears to eject casings after he puts on his gas mask till we up again. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Scar Lowy 1, Jump on the Mechanic Wagon, Season 3, Episode something I can't read. 2.
Hello, listener, and welcome back to Jump on the Mechanic Wagon.
Woo.
I'm your host, Scar Lowy 1. In this episode, I will tell you about Season 1, Episode 2 of The New Earl Adventures, The New Dweeb in Town. In case you forgot, Earl is now working for the villains. Boo hiss.
That's right.
Boo.
One day, Two-Face walked into the garage and said, "Hey, Earl, there's a new Robin. It's some little dweeb." "A new Robin?" replied Earl. "Yeah, you said you don't know who Batman is, but do you know anything about the old boy Wonder?" He was very smooth, but I don't think Batman liked him very much. He was always calling him a dick. Fun fact, this is the only episode of the DCAU that contains the word smooth. Okay, that's not true. Anyway, see you next week. Same PP time, same poo-poo channel.
I do like the idea that the villains accidentally overhear them calling each other their real names sometimes.
Bruce, Batman.
Well, I was going to say, he keeps calling Robin a dick, but then Dick keeps referring to bruises or something like that. I don't know what's going on.
What's a bruise?
Yeah. Ryan Hip's origin story.
And now, back to Batman on Kids WB.
Sins of the Father is deeply important in my history with this universe. It's one of only 2 episodes of New Batman Adventures that I have any clear recollection of seeing on TV. This part...
It's the real Robin suit, isn't it? Whatever happened to him?
Always stayed with me. This also introduced me to my favorite superhero, Tim Drake. I knew the character from the show as a kid, but it was getting the DVD set and revisiting the series in December 2005 when it really hit. I still remember getting that Amazon package. It had Batman Volume 4 and Superman Volume 2, and the Batman one had a cheesy lithograph. But it came in the mail right before the family was going out to eat or something, so I was carrying it around with me for hours, waiting for us to just get the hell home already. When we did, I went balls deep into the Batman set and quickly fell in love with Tim. From there, I checked out that old Batman Ultimate Guidebook from my middle school, which taught me about the real Tim Drake. I hope Jane told Brian all about that. And over the next few years, I picked up the back issues of his solo comic, and he's been my favorite hero and forever boyfriend ever since.
I got a simple equation for you. 1 + 1 = Armageddon.
Oh, shut the fuck up!
Oh, a very personal, nice story from Ryan Hip.
I know. I was taken
good.
aback and really good imagery there.
You know, I did like I'm going to assume it's from Batman and Robin. It might have been from Batman Forever. The music in the background, it's the same theme. So it's probably from Batman Forever because of the year. I'm placing my bets on that. But I do miss the, I'm walking down the street in the middle of the night, Ryan Hip voice, like cars driving by and stuff. Don't change a thing. It's good.
Yeah, you just gotta take whatever shows up from Ryan.
Yeah. That's cool, though. I'm glad that this meant something to you and you have memories with it. We'll get to a couple in this show that I have memories of, like when I saw it and how and where and whatever. So,
that's cool. I mean, these are all, I could tell you pretty much every single episode of these that I've seen so far.
That's true. Yeah. Most of them on your TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all of them.
Except for Phantasm.
A couple on Alora's TV and one in the living room TV. Yeah. This is from Zane Beatty. Haven't commented in a bit, but always listening. Always. Gordon didn't get his cheesesteak because it's rude to order after the kitchen is closed and cleaned.
Yeah, Gordon. Jesus Christ.
That's very true. And if I could just get 7 sandwiches, please. Yeah. What the fuck, man?
What time do you guys close? We
4
close
hours ago.
We close at 10. Oh, cool. Well, it's 9:58. Still got time to get food. Never do that, listener. If it's half an hour before they close,
even if you're meeting Batman at the diner and you've explicitly been allowed to do that, Still don't order a sandwich. Yeah.
No, just whatever they don't have to clean up after, like a soda or something they can just open for you. That's fine. Don't ask for food or anything needs to be prepared.
Dylan Pollock, Cinny Fathers, tricks are for Tim.
It's time for the thoughts of the week from Dylan Pollock on sins of the father, or how does one get the nickname Shifty? So, in reality, the cop kills that kid for the donuts, right? He was going to be like, he was coming at me, and those donuts could have been a weapon. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of killing people, is it just me, or did even Two-Face seem surprised by that coin flip? He goes like, kill him. That's the way the coin shakes. I guess, is that his version of that's the way the cookie crumbles? I don't know. That's the way the coin flips?
Flips, yeah.
There it is. Also, tell me what you guys think. I feel like Mask of the Phantasm Alfred would not be cool with Bruce bringing Tim back at all and would try and put a stop and get that kid in therapy, but maybe that's just too realistic of me. Also, this is a rough episode for Batman's usefulness as he loses pretty much every fight he's in. One donut creaming in the face out of 5 for Batman. Wow, look at the size of that dick at the end. Anyway, it's time for the question of the week, James's favorite part.
Yes.
What's the last movie you watched and how was it?
Oh, I just watched Scream for the first time. The first Scream. And I feel like I just knew everything that was going to happen because it's been ingrained in pop culture for so long. But I didn't know who the bad guy was. I won't say it for someone who hasn't seen it. But you have such a look on your face. What did you watch, Brian?
Don't ask me
you
that
watched
question.
the Barbie movie. You watched Barbie and you didn't like it.
I did watch the Barbie movie.
Yeah.
And no, I did.
We're not going to get into it.
Yep, nope.
It's too much. It's too much for the podcast. Listener, I liked the movie more than Brian. I'll say that.
Because Margot Robbie's hot.
I mean, that's a good aspect of it for sure. I mean, they even make that joke in the movie, Brian. This is not a good thing to be talking about when Margot Robbie is your character or whatever they say, whatever the narrator said.
Yep, they did say that.
Anyway, this is from Red Roar Roa, which I must be new because I've never said that in my life. From the past, hello, James Superbat Snuka and the Animal Bricktista from the very south of Texas.
Hey.
I found your podcast after getting recommended to me on Spotify. I've seen a few Watchtower Database episodes.
That's cool.
Yeah, recommended on Spotify. That's cool. I've seen a few Watchtower videos, especially about how Batman had time for a Robin between the original series and the New Adventures series. I can't wait to get to where y'all are at now. I'm at Mask of the Phantasm movie. I'm like halfway through. Loving your work. Keep it real. Red Dead, don't dread. Okay.
Love it.
Thank you. Yeah, welcome. Scotty Cameron. Hey, Yoppie dudes. It's funny how both times we get a Robin in these shows, we get the origin story after we've already met Robin. At least this time his origin story is his next appearance instead of waiting a while.
Yeah.
Jamie was great on Justice League Revisited. That's a podcast that Susan Eisenberg hosts, the Wonder Woman voice actress. And I highly recommend everyone give it a listen. Unless you're Brian, then don't listen for the sake of spoilers. Now I'm catching up on the episodes I missed. Stay uppy, Scotty. Thank you. Keen Machine, Sins of a Feather. Greetings, Yoppie dudes. I said Yoppie first this time. We made it back to Gotham City. Hooray! And now we get to learn who Robin is. A random street kid that Bruce Wayne just keeps, I guess. Gotham Child Services are probably too swamped with cases to really care at this point, I guess. But seriously, I've always liked this version of Robin, perhaps because when I first watched this series as a kid, it was so fun to see a kid be part of the Bat family. He gets hit with a crowbar by that goon. Is that a Jason Todd reference? The story is pretty fun, but hiding liquids at the airport has got to be the thing that aged the worst in this episode. TSA would never have let Drake bring that inside.
No way.
Also, is Tim his dad's clone? Because, whoa, that back computer photo of his dad as a child is literally Tim.
I had that thought.
It was just Tim with an angry face, yeah. Overall, I'm always a fan to return to the red-skied city whenever we can. Keep it keen, Keen Machine.
Can do.
We will do that. Meatballs McGee. Dear Jimmy and the Brain. Oh my God! When are we going to get back to Batman? Oh, right now? Rad. Well, now I can finally talk about the origins of Tim Drake. Of course, that's who I meant. How could anyone possibly get those two confused? Anyway, I got a question for everybody this time. What movie do you think has one of the best soundtracks ever? I say Inside Llewyn Davis. Good night and fuck you from Big Bus. Thank you. Mask of the Phantasm soundtrack, pretty good.
Can I be like basic as hell?
Sure, yeah. Earl Grey, the movie.
Jan Tiersen doing the Amelie soundtrack.
Okay.
I still love it. Like, it's so cliche.
That's another thing that when Brian and I first met that he recommended that I experience was Steam Powered Giraffe and Amelie, and I've experienced neither of them. No, you showed me some Steam Powered Giraffe songs, but I haven't watched Amelie.
Well, is it on the list? It's probably been on the list the whole time.
Probably. I don't know. When I'm listening back, I'll check.
Nice.
LexCorp cares. Hey, Joyce and Bridger, just wanted to call and weigh in on this billionaire orphan discourse. Best wishes, LexCorp, sent from mile 6.3 of a ride on my beautiful stationary Lex bike.
Hi, Josh, Blandon. So glad to talk with you. I heard the news that Bruce Wayne has that one has a gap tooth. Get it out of here. That Bruce Wayne has a new orphan. So that's the second orphan that he's gotten. And I just wanted to call you that one's too short. Just to call you to let you know about our orphan, the LexCorp orphan, Lenny the LexCorp orphan, and all of the great things that Lenny, Jesus Christ, does that one have a disease? Get it out of here. And all of the great things that Lenny can do. He's real good at math, and he's lovely. And you were, yeah. Get in the car. And yeah, so if you ever want to come by and talk about one of Lex's orphans that he has, because we have orphans, of course we have orphans. You're always welcome to. Anyways,
thanks.
Goodbye. No, don't stay.
I like the lore as if we're like reporting on everything that's happening in either city or whatever, and LexCorp always has to chime in some way. First time writing in from Michael Bono or Bono? Michael Bono. Michael, are you related to the Bono? Has anyone asked you this fucking hilarious question before? Hello, Jerry and the Biz.
Hey.
He said Jerry, parentheses Brian, and the Biz, parentheses James. I've listened to you two yap since the beginning, always from afar, hearing wistfully, plotting the perfect episode to join the expanded cast of characters as an active participant. And after many failed attempts, I'm now writing in for the first time. The actual perfect place to jump on the Bat-Wagon, just in time for episode 106. Whoops, been a rough holiday season for 10 years. Anyway, let's get to the second episode of TNBA, Sins of the Father, or kinda sorta Jason Todd's origin, as I like to call it. This was one of my favorites as a kid, and I still mostly like it. I will never get enough of Tim using a jelly-filled donut as an effective weapon twice. Oh no, he's learning all the wrong lessons from Uncle Pukeface. Also, a cop had a box of donuts that he stole. Likely thing for that cop to have, to be honest. Realest thing I've ever seen in this universe. Love the confirmation that yes, Batman does just leave his shit everywhere because he has an endless supply. I bet half of Tim's school has a battering by now. Two-Face was always one of my favorite villains, and I think it is entirely thanks to Richard Mole's line delivery. Mole sets the standard for Big Bad Harv. The years have been so rough on Harv, man is willing to kill a kid in his first scene in the whole city if he doesn't get his 22 mil by 2 a.m. by mixing his 2 canisters of goop. What is this, Die Hard with a vengeance? I don't always love how Harv is written, though. Flips a coin to decide to kill Tim, but he doesn't need to flip a coin to poison millions? Or how about when he pistol whips that guy off the luggage cart to escape bats? I'm just saying, he seems perfectly capable of decision-making without the coin sometimes. I guess that's true. I hadn't really considered that.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Also, 1 + 1 = Armageddon is a horrible line. Harv, you didn't want to workshop that a little. 1 + 1 = tomb. Like a tomb, because everyone will be dead. It's not perfect, but if your thing is twos, be consistent. He does follow it up with the hardest line ever, though. There will be 2 types of people in Gotham after, the dying and the dead. Alfred's, oh fuck, not another child face when he sees Tim in the Batboat with a passed out Bruce can only be rivaled by Dick, sporting the worst hair you've ever seen, saying, hey kid, watch out for the unbearable standards of a grown adult man is going to place on you, a child. I might be paraphrasing. I watched the episode way before writing this. So yeah, solid episode. I give Batman 4 bangers cleared out of the hood out of 10. Did I do that?
Shoot. That would have been a good
awful line. Yeah, that was like a really out of touch sounding line or whatever.
Yeah.
Just wanted to say this pod has been a godsend through one of the absolute worst few years of my life. I really have started an email many different times throughout these past few years to send it in. But I've been unable to get my shit together enough to ever finish it before. I love hearing whatever nonsense the two of you, and sometimes Joe and sometimes a listener, because Joe doesn't count as a listener, that's true,
well, he's not.
Get up to as you talk about a children's show. This pod gives me something to look forward to mostly every week. I love all the listener, Dylan and his alts, which includes me now. Oh God, am I real?
Nope.
Participation that occurs. My goodness, the creativity of y'all astounds me. Maybe one day I can join the ranks of Dylan with a hat, Dylan with an Aussie accent, Dylan with a slightly different Aussie accent, Dylan but femme, Dylan but, oh well, you get it. Please, all of you, keep up the good work and yap till you drop. I think it's supposed to be, I love you all. Good night. P.S. DJ, Jazzy Jeff, and Bernard, don't forget to pack a few jelly or custard-filled donuts to protect yourselves from cops and goons. I know I do. Signed, Chimney. Thank you.
Well, thanks for writing in. I'm glad you just kind of cracked the seal on that, and I'm sorry that it's been a hard few years.
Welcome, though. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
We're glad you're part of this.
Hang out. Now you can just write stuff. You can like Ryan Hip walk down the road just
you can do
spouting
whatever you
nonsense.
want.
Like it's all good.
Okay, I'm going to be very selective with the comments because that was a lot of emails.
You gotta be out of here in 7 minutes, you know?
I know. I'm going to rush it. I got it. Okay. Peter Pantaloons is back. Welcome back. The golden embrace of pants, my favorite month of the year, where sun-drenched days linger in the balmy air, weaving a complex tapestry, Jesus, James, of warmth and sweet nostalgia for days long since past. To which Austin Trousers replied, bro, I feel that.
Gold.
Very good, yeah. College Dick, welcome back also. Hey, y'all. Long time no comment. Bruce really needs to step up his cave security by like 1,000%. Barbara and Alfred aren't exactly the best security guards. I completely forgot the dick tease at the end. My boy is back. Have a good one and stay yoppy, my dudes. Banana Baby Goo Goo Gaga. Translation, I've never heard of Mixel Pixel before. You mean to tell me that me and my family aren't the only fifth dimensional beings? We are simply bananas, and that's okay. Don't look further into it. Damage report from Euphonium Star. The Thinker statue. Other things got damaged, but then reversed, so they don't count. Considering authentic rodents, the Thinker sculptures can be valued at like $15 million. I hope that museum had good insurance.
Oh, it's got to be way more than that.
You think so?
I do.
Jungi Fulmer, more like tangents of the Yoppers. Got 'em. The side tangents are some of the best parts of this podcast, and anyone who disagrees is the average Mixius Pixelated disliker, a.k.a. a hater of fun. Brian. And last first we got Mark Aquino. Or there's banana, there's rent, there's other bananas, there's banana shit going on.
We're in a rush.
Evil banana baby, Oogug Hagag, motherfucking, you'll get your rent when you fix this damn comment section. Okay, the end. Mark Aquino, Sins of the Father, aka Fanboy Wish Fulfillment, or Robin defeats Two-Face with the power of cinema. We're back at Gotham City, baby, with the proper start of the new Batman adventures, the origin story of the new Pipsqueak Robin. Right out the gate, young Tim Drake outruns a cop and steals a box of donuts. I like this kid already. I also think him having a batarang makes sense, given how long Batman's been around. Him forgetting to clean up his own messes and leaving behind a batarang or two is actually pretty believable. I like the updated look for Two-Face. It's sleeker while still maintaining the basic appearance that was established in BTAS. Emphasis on still maintaining the basic appearance. Wish that would have been the same for a certain other big-name Batman villain, but I digress. They mentioned in passing that Tim's father was found dead floating in Metropolis River. It wasn't fully explained what happened to him, but if you want my guess, all I'll say is that's what happens when you fuck with Bibbo Bibowski, motherfucker. You get bibbed. I'm getting some soda. Oh, I better kill this guy real quick. Overall, there's not really a whole lot to say about this one, weirdly enough. Yeah, we found that too. It's a major episode that fully establishes the new status quos of the Bat family, and yet there's really not much to say about it. It just kind of happens. I'm not saying it's a bad episode. I just kind of came and went without leaving much of an impression. Well, we liked. But at least I know that TNBA has plenty more interesting episodes from here on, so at least we'll have those to look forward to. Boss Biggest Bear Hugs, the #1 podcast host, and this year Multiverse of Ours, Jackety Wackety, and Band on the Run. And praise the Lord and Savior, all the other people and things.
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm not a fan of the month of January. It really never feels like the beginning of a new year, but more like the prior year clinging on to us like a picked scab. It's cold, gray. It doesn't really inspire much positivity. That's why I tend to spend most of the month binging on theme park videos, because it always feels like an escape from dreary-ass January. What say you, folks? What gets you through January? Jesus, man, what a way to end the fucking podcast till next week. Smoke bomb put out by a big old whoosh because I just flew away. Okay, Brian, the name of the next episode is Action Figures. Quick, we have 3 minutes.
Superman?
Uh-huh, yeah.
And someone's transforming people into statues or something.
No.
Damn.
We'll see you next time, everybody. Happy New Year again and all that stuff.
James is flying away.
Yeah, well, big old whoosh, fuck off. I love you. Bye.
You work with me, Tim. You follow the rules. Rule number 1, you give me everything you've got. Rule number 2, then you give me more. And rule number 3, I make the rules.
Watch out for that last one, kid. It's a killer.
Dick. My word.
Hey, no one can be a boy wonder forever.
Jump on the Bat-Wagon is hosted by the Watchtower Database. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for DC Animated Universe videos on a regular basis. This podcast is edited and produced by yours truly, James Strecker. Musical themes by Kimmy, Cooney Phoenix, Viltsu, Eric LeBeau, Jordan Blumen, my mother, and of course, my smooth co-host, Brian, Brother Broderick Meneely. To buy us a Yoppie beverage and hear your name read in a future episode, or to nab yourself a Yoppie Dude t-shirt, please visit the links in today's show notes. Thank you for supporting the show. You can hear more on today's DCAU episode by checking out our friends over on the DCAU Review and Tim Talk podcasts. Please leave us a 5-star review on your app of choice. You'll damn well hear it read on the show. If you'd like to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of The Cat and the Claw Part 2, you can email batwagonpod@gmail.com or leave a comment on the Podtower. New episodes of Jump on the Bat-Wagon are released Fridays on all your favorite podcast feeds and watchtowerdatabase.com. And we'll see you next episode, same PP time, same poo-poo channel.